Alright, now listen up, boys and girls, lords, ladies and gentlemen. This is of course Nick on the Fabulous Get Me Off Grid video blog. Just showing you my fuel bricks so far. All of these made by hand from waste paper, as you can see. Well, that one's still got some soft bits in it, but they're starting to sound much more biscuity and much more solid. Alright, these are made out of till receipts. These are made out of old bank statements. These are made out of envelopes with the windows torn out of them. Right, now the reason I've got this here is because I'm just going to show you how I made it. Okay, this is a margarine tub with holes made in it with a pair of scissors, because I'm showing you how to do this on cheap. The reason for the shape of these things, as you can see, the paper mush can fit into the bottom, so you shove your paper mush into the one with holes in it, and then over the bathtub, put that on top. Squeeze out all the water as best you can, put all your weight onto it using your fist, move your fist around, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. I've actually got a block of wood which I've been using to just, push down on that surface so I can try and get more of the water out. Then I turn the mush over, put it back in the other way around, put that on top, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it again, alright, and in the end it comes out. Now it comes out still a bit soft and soggy. So I lay it out on a piece of cardboard and let it just become a little bit more solid. Now if you are still using your radiators, what you could do is always place it at the top of your radiator once it's got some solidity to it, and then it'll obviously finish out drying a little quicker. Now from what I've seen and what I've heard about online conversations I've had with other people who've made solid fuel combustible briquettes, is that you need to leave them to completely dry, otherwise they'll just smoulder and of course to age and season. Now we've got some good weather coming up tomorrow and Wednesday. I understand they're going to be quite dry, quite warm. So if I make another batch of a few of these, try and dry them outside in the sun on a piece of cardboard on the patio, I can slowly build up my stocks and my reserves of solid fuel. Now what I can do when I actually want to get around to burning these friendly things is to break them up into little chunks and shove them into the Kelly kettle and so on and so forth. Now what I'm planning on doing is just stockpiling them, okay? Just basically look after it. This is of course fuel reserves. Every time you put the kettle on, you're using up money. But this stuff is free and made with no energy expense, no electricity, no gas, no nothing, okay? Of course I turn on the tap to get the water, but of course if you've got a water butt, you can use the water from that if you wanted to, and you can save water reserves. So even the small ones that are like broken up, that's still usable fuel, okay? Depends upon how you want to use them. So I'm going to get a box and I'm going to store these in the box, make sure it's aerated so air will obviously carry on circulating. These are not totally 100% dry yet, well this one isn't. One or two of them I think are pretty much close as damn it, which means that you don't even have to buy one of those 10 quid or 20 quid log makers from eBay. You can just use old margarine tubs quite successfully to make fuel blocks. Now if I had increased the compression, I'd have probably got a much more longer burning paper log, so to speak, okay? But essentially, it's not looking too bad. Initially with the very first few ones I made, I think I made a bit of a mistake. I hadn't torn the paper up quite enough, and I hadn't had enough water, because you want to have a proper mush to play around with prior to getting the crushing done or the compressing done in your margarine tubs. But there you go. Alright, margarine tubs be used as log makers in the bath. Obviously the bath was empty at the time. Don't have to draw you a picture, mate. Alright, but there you go. You can have them different shapes depending upon the mould shape you get, and all that will be useful. And it's the sort of thing you can do when the radio is going on in the background. So solid fuel made at home. Don't forget the links below. Use them if you want to carry on getting good ideas from myself as to how you can use stuff. I mean, all the cardboard, all the paper that you throw out, normally speaking, all of that is fuel. And fuel, if you've got even a postage stamp garden, you can still have a barbecue going in it, you can still have a Kelly kettle going in it, you can still have a wood gas stove going in it. Alright, so think about that. This is not paper, this is energy for boiling water and cooking meals. and you don't have to turn on the gas all the time. If you can start building up a reserve of these, if you get a power cut, you can use them. And even if you haven't got a power cut and you want to cut down your bills through not using energy quite as much, again, you can use them free.